Hello guys, and welcome back to Strategic Command World War II, World at War with our Axis playthrough. In the last episode, we made it over here to July 4th of 1941. With all this nonsense going on, we're going to start with the Soviet front, where I have to make some difficult decisions. I think my most difficult one is going to be up north. I am in a perfect position to reinforce my air after a successful initial push, and then also beef up my tanks a little bit. Or I could keep pushing east using my tanks and keep pushing the offensive without actually getting them as high up to strength as I could. There's benefits and cons to each idea. The benefits are that the Soviets haven't had a lot of time to prepare yet. I have. I don't need to be super over-prepared with elite reinforcements because they don't have that. They're not that prepared. They're not that ready for this. Every turn that goes by, they generate a whole bunch of MPPs that they didn't have access to before, especially now that this is going and I need to get something up there. Luckily, I have a new sub which can help with that. I'm going to deploy that right here. Just going to have to wait till next turn before it goes anywhere, but it'd be perfect for intercepting this line, which is surely juicy and ready to be plundered, as well as the USA-UK line, which is active now. I've just been so busy fighting and damaging massive destroyer forces with my subs. They're mostly getting in my way while I go after enemy carriers, of which I did sink one. I don't actually know which one of these is more productive to me, but it kind of just happened while I was raiding anyway. We do know that a carrier with a lot of upgrades is worth hundreds of MPPs, but so are these convoy lines, and right now I don't actually have a lot of raiding going on. So instead, for now, let's just focus on what I definitely can do, which is take these tactical bombers. We have one target we can hit. It's an important target to get through. So let's go ahead and attack with the bomber, the enemy army on Kiev. We get 1-to-1 losses like this. I believe I did leave these panzers back intentionally, planning to upgrade them because Advanced Tanks 2 is available. It's a pretty important one. So I'm going to upgrade these. We're not going to be ultra offensive down here. We've had a lot of good pushing, and so we can afford to get those tanks upgraded. We got these ones upgraded already. Elite reinforcements is just kind of like icing on the cake for them, which is why the situation is a little bit different. But I also have more tanks down here that I just haven't brought in or used because I wasn't really sure what to do with this Africa group. I kind of know what I'm going to do with them now. I just haven't had MPPs that I wanted to allocate to that yet. I needed garrisons to get ready because we're dealing with a lot of partisans the further we push. I wanted upgrades for the Navy because they have carriers that they're harassing me with all the time. This game is just a big game of I have such limited points and I have 20 bajillion things I can do. Where the hell do I allocate them? I don't know. But let's take the Africa tactical bombers. Oh my god. Why are they going to hurt me if I try to bomb them? What is this? Well, I don't know why it's so crazy, but we're going to go ahead and do that bombing anyway. We dealt 1 damage. We took 2. At least we dealt 1. I mainly just wanted to reduce the readiness and morale. I could push the offensive with this one, so I'm still using these aggressively, because they're repaired enough. Let's give it a shot. 1 damage dealt. 2 taken, okay. Very uneven trades. Is it that they have anti-air? Is that what it is? Yeah, they have anti-air. Everything here is anti-air. I guess I really just need better ground attack weapons or something, huh? But that's that for now. These fighters were not needed, so I'll go ahead and reinforce this one. This bomber could do with moving up, but we'll save that for right now. We don't need to pursue that this instant. Since my tanks are upgraded on the front, I will be a little aggressive with them. I don't think we should necessarily wait while we have an enemy just here at a river in the open field. This is too good of an opportunity to just move up these tanks and then beat the shit out of this core. 6 damage dealt, none taken, and they run away, and they get away because we can't really catch them. I could move another tank up, I could move an army, I could move all kinds of things. Although now we have a better idea what we're dealing with. We have a whole line along this river. These 2 towns now have a whole line along them. There's a lot of enemy units up here. The Ukraine area is falling apart way faster, and our fronts are a little limited due to the Pripyat marshes. So we need to break through into these more open plains and get more options on the table here. I know we don't really have any air that can assist down here at Odessa, so I'm just going to press the offensive because this enemy unit is battered. Even if we're injured, they're battered. So let's attack. Only 3 damage dealt. That sucks. 1 taken. 4 damage dealt, 1 taken. We're not supposed to be taking damage, so this is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Attack with the core. 1 damage. Oh my god. Our rolls suck. Let's see. I realistically want as little individuals attacking from this side of the river as possible. So we should move somebody else. What's supply like in this area? It's not the greatest. But I could say move this Romanian army forward a little bit. We get a little peek and find that nobody is defending Kherson. Okay, this is what I wanted to see. Holes in the enemy's defenses. We got to move something else over here to join in on the attack. For now, I'm going to move this army forward, this Hungarian army. We're going to move the Romanian army in. And there you go. Odessa is mine. I think I might step on this with the Romanian HQ so they can kind of follow along with the advance. Yeah. Follow along with the Romanian HQ for the time being. We will need to kind of reinforce before pushing much further. We can't actually reach Kherson with anybody right now. It's out of range, unfortunately. And I don't know how far I want to pull up. They're likely to just deploy somebody like right there, realistically. Our forward deployed paratroopers will attack the enemy, let's say garrison here at Cherkasy. Uman is not an important location. Cherkasy is not an important location. Well, I guess it depends how you look at it, but they're both generally unimportant locations. Nothing really worth paying attention to a lot. Let's move up the Slovakian Corps. We're going to be blitzing, dude. I'm not actually going to reinforce as much as I thought, because I'm just realizing how much we should be pressing the offensive in the Axis issues. We are on a time limit. We're not the Allies. This isn't about over-preparing. This is about getting as much done as possible. Oh, let's see. Oh, no, you can't prepare. But we have Uman that we could concern ourselves with. This is only a core. And that's not too much to deal with. Do any of you have strikes remaining? No. No, you do not. The Hungarians can stick together. I'll move you up so we kind of surround this guy. The Romanians definitely stick together. Kind of form this big Romanian wall right here. I'm not moving up next to Kherson, next to a river that can be exploited against me. Hungarians stay together. So, Hungarian will come down here. 1 to 2. I don't like those odds. I really, really don't. But we'll move this paratrooper forward to claim Cherkasy. Supply's not going to move the best through here. Probably, yeah, no. We can move this HQ up momentarily, though. Move the 14th Army forward as well. Okay, he has better odds because he has XP. Let's go ahead and attack with him. 1 damage dealt, 1 taken. Unfortunately, our rolls are terrible right now, man. We have this corps as well that could either flank around here and attack, or go for this mine. We don't know if there's anything at whatever this is. But I think I can recon, realistically. There's also this corps back here that's like injured, but I don't want to attack across the river necessarily. There's nobody here. An important city with nobody defending it. Wow, okay. Let's just attack with the Hungarians. 4 damage dealt, none taken. Okay. Attack with the Hungarian Corps. 1 damage dealt, 1 taken. Yeah, that's my luck. I believe moving this corps forward to secure a mine that provides the Soviets 10 MPPs a turn, and then further getting closer to this city that's undefended and everything else over here, is going to do a lot more to assist me than just probably slightly damaging, not killing, this corps a little bit further. If you ask me. That's my belief. So, let's take this HQ, von Kukler. Actually, I'm kind of nervous to move him up. Look at this. I am nervous to move him up given the situation up here. These guys might move down and cause problems. Wouldn't be so bad if I moved other units kind of in that place. This one can't even reach the front line right now. Okay. Well, we'll take you for now, sir. This corps, the 5th Corps, we'll move it here, and that can kind of serve as a blocking force along with this tank, so that I can move von Kukler forward. Someone has to reach out to this corps. We'll move this corps forward to take the mine, secure this kind of region as best we can for right now. We'll take this Hungarian corps and move him around so he's further ahead, and we're fully encircling Uman. If they try to get out, I mean, I don't think they can really get the movement points to get across the river, and even if they can, they're just surviving off of the supplies from this town. They're not going to leave it. Meanwhile, by Minsk, we definitely want to see if we can secure Minsk this turn. It would help us push this front so much. Let's go ahead and attack with the 8th Army, the enemy army defending Minsk. 5 damage dealt, none taken. Holy shit. That's awesome. Since we do have a prepared attack, I will attack with the 1st Frontier Corps. And we dealt 3 damage and took it. Dude, that's awesome. Alright. 4th Army is lagging behind. It also can't get up to the front. I was really hoping that it would be able to. I was really hoping it would be able to do that. This tank is now the new problem. A tank with some anti-air capacity. The marshes will stop its movement from flanking us around towards Brest-Litovsk from this region. If I can surround it, it won't have supply next turn, and then I can kill it without having to properly fight it. And that's kind of my idea right now. So, since this army can't get here, we'll take the 8th Army and move it on Minsk, because it's like the most important location here. Everyone else's goal will just be to surround this motherfucker, basically. The paratrooper doesn't really need to, well, paratroop. He could still go up here. I was tempted to send this corps up here, but now he can't do that. The paratroop would actually be better than a corps. It has more skill, more power to try to kill this enemy corps, but we'd be getting really close to these enemy armies at the same time, and that might be a little concerning. I think that I can risk it, all things considered. So let's go ahead and woo! I'm so lucky there wasn't any fighters over here. All right, let's attack. Shattered. Just like that, we wiped them out with just the paratroopers. Forget about anything else. But now we've run face first into 2 armies. Oh no! Including ones with infantry weapons. Germany doesn't have infantry weapons too yet. This is bad. The Soviets are getting on an even playing field. It's good that I'm being aggressive then. We need to kill as many of them as possible before they get the MPPs to spread that tech out. We don't want them to end up ready for us in a 1-to-1 fight. Either way, it won't be 1-to-1. I've over-prepared for dealing with them, certainly. Up here, we want to keep gravitating east, so let's go ahead and take this army and just run it through the fields. We want to get the armies especially headed east, so I know I'm moving you this way. And so you'll go here as a corps. You're going to defend primarily. You have to go there. But you need to stay kind of defensive for right now. You'll just go there for now. You'll go there. Get stuck in the woods a little bit, but that's fine. I'll swap these guys out as he runs further east, sending the armies to do the real important stuff. This army would be perfect to place over here, actually, because the idea is he'll help attack this tank group. Wiping out some heavy tanks that are upgraded would be fantastic of a win. Because what do heavy tanks cost? I can't even recruit heavy tanks yet. What the fuck? So, like, I would pay... Oh my god, this is like as much as a fucking carrier, bro. Jesus Christ. It's like a land carrier. What is this? Alright, we're gonna move the 4th Army forward and take up that position right there. No attack, just get ready to attack. And then that should be fine for now. It's not a whole lot of spot I can move anything else around here, but this core, Frontier Corps, will move up as much as it can. Everything else, again, can't get as far. Going towards Gomel seems to be open for now, based on what I can see. The planes are going to gravitate this way, so the tactical bombers are going to move right over here for the time being. The Africa tactical bomb, well, no, just the normal tactical bombers. These ones could stay where they are, but there's really no harm in moving them forward either. So I'm going to do that. Same thing with the Africa fighters. Probably what's the supply around here? It's good. Yeah, it's good. Fighters will move forward, and we're going to, like, shift away from Brest-Litovsk. I'll take these 2 corps in the rear, and we're going to just move them up here to this front in the field, so they can kind of go either in any way and reinforce in either in any direction as they're needed. Maintaining a front over here still against the tanks, leaving von Rundstedt in the back. Rundstedt, oh, I can't say these words. To do whatever it is he needs to do. And just, well, he doesn't have anywhere to move up to except for, like, Minsk, but that's not ready for him yet. And also, Rommel could just as easily move up. Like, the front is just so limited right now. It's so limited. I do plan on getting these tanks up eventually, and probably this recon. The arty is not as important due to how it's, like, we're moving so quickly. Only at holdouts will arty actually be needed. Otherwise, we're just kind of, like, wasting it. So that's not as important. Same thing with anti-tank. That's going to be serve more of a defensive role, I think. But I'm going to reinforce these core for right now. I don't think you can really do anything important. We can't really get anybody up here to really even exploit the fact that I bombed this dude and did a little bit of damage. It's not even like an option. What's supply like over here? It's okay. It's okay. We'll move the tactical bombers forward. We'll move the fighters forward with them. Doesn't need to be all the way up in the front. This army is limited on where it can go, so I'll just send it right here, kind of blocking further the Von Kukler HQ. Getting past Kiev is definitely going to be important, so we'll take these tactical bombers, move them up next to Vinnytsia, and move the fighters next to that as well. Kind of just piling up down here, as we're going to need to blast through there to really spill into the rest of Ukraine, and then into everything south of Moscow, separate to what the Yugoslavians are doing, of course. The other coalition Axis forces are going to need some time to recover after this push. They've gotten pretty injured. Which means for now, I will go ahead and reinforce the 5th Panzer tanks. Just leave them where they are. They can reach the entire front from where they are as is, assuming no rain shows up. But, I mean, it's fine for now. So that's good and done. We're going to move the Hungarian HQ down to Baku, because the Hungarians are lingering over here primarily. So we don't really need to have it too far up north. Over by Finland, this will be pretty easy, I think. What's supply like over here? It's bad. It's what it is. Shame, because a forest is very easy to defend. Is this also a forest, or is it just a lake? It's a lake with a forest, but it's only a lake in practice. I don't want them ever moving up here is the problem. What is this? Still a lake. Supply here sucks, man. It's awful. I'm going to reinforce these fighters for now. The Helsinki Corps will just move forward and take positions in this fortification, start building up entrenchments. The Isthmus Army, I guess, will start attacking more. It's going to suffer casualties eventually and then not be able to replenish them, which is not going to be very good. Because the enemy core will be able to replenish, and we don't necessarily want that. We could just sit here defensively. It just feels like a waste not to get such good kills against the Soviet forces. I want to get the 2nd Corps recovered, though, so I'm just going to move it back, leave it. I might revisit this army later. For now, I feel like not getting it injured would actually be ideal. But yeah, I'll look back at that later. This armored train is taking advantage of its speed to come down here and try to assist by Grozny. Clearly. There's no time for this army to rest. It's their only army, the Yugoslavs, and it does way more than the Corps. So we ideally take down Grozny this turn. We gotta keep moving. 3 damage dealt, none taken. Okay. This army definitely needs time to recuperate, though. It's not gonna move too far ahead from here. And then... why is... oh, supply. I was like, why is this so different? Supply. That's why. Attack with this one. 1 damage only. And we take damage. This is a rip-off. I want my money back. No damage dealt and we take that. What is this? This is the biggest rip-off of my entire life and I want to sue. Let's go ahead and bring the Drovska Corps forward. Oh, that even just said 0 and 0. Fucking hell. Okay, well, gee, how do I feel about an armored train? I'd rather just have it attack me from across the river. Move you over here. We can apparently do some damage. Okay, remember how I said, like, we just absolutely have to fucking kill this? Well, apparently I'm wrong, because that's not going to happen. I move the Belgrade Corps back to Baku, move the Bitaliska Corps forward and attack. 2 damage dealt, and now they have experience, and we're taking more losses. I need to leave someone on Baku, because there's partisans there. And we can't operate out there yet. We can to Tbilisi, because now it has enough supply. I checked. But I guess we're not getting through Grozny. Grozny's a fucking holdout. This is where having Arty could be handy. The big problem here is just that we're functioning with so many corps, and many of them were not in position for prepared attack, because they're coming from the siege on Baku that we just, like, took now. Which is very important to take. Well, I'm at least happy that we've taken over so much important oil and sources of MPPs for Germany. That's very great. I wish we could move this front faster. If we can't, that's no big deal. They'll still be able to move fast. The Soviets are pretty dug in certain places, but again, we have them open on so many fronts, they probably won't be able to keep up. So that's fine. We'll just stay here a little bit longer. It's okay. take a little bit longer getting some garrisons up to the front and replacing everything anyway. It's fine. We have weakened the Russian war machine and we're starting to spread them a little bit thin. So I believe generally that is the entire front with the Soviets. I do need to spend some more MPPs, of course, and there's plenty more to do. So we know there's a carrier somewhere over here. There might be two. One might have run around, and there was one literally just right around here moments ago. So it might still be here. But our submarines, they've seen better days. They've seen much better days than they're seeing right now. This one definitely needs to get back. So let's take it, and then I guess just hope to God it can make it to Saint Nazaire. Okay, well, God was filled with hope, apparently, because we made it to Saint Nazaire nice and fine. I feel like we'll need to maneuver this one, so let's try to go right through this. It seems clear enough down here. There shouldn't be anything down here. The further south we go, the safer the path should be. And then all the way home to Brest? Yes, okay. Because there's just so many destroyers up here. I don't really even know what to do. Okay, next, we have to find one of these carriers. This one is healthy enough to go looking, I think. Barely. So let's... Oh! There are so many destroyers here. Jesus fucking Christ. But hey! We found this. I guess... Wait. Because I was in silent, was I not detected when I approached? That's interesting. Okay, so now the idea is to get the most healthy subs over here to attack their carrier and make them regret ever being born. So, good way to start is with this one, but we might want these other ones too. So there seems to be a big cluster of enemy ships around here, so I need to avoid that as I move more submarines up. So let's go from this way, why don't we? Like so. Like so. Okay, okay, alright, we're making it. We're making it work. The dream is becoming a reality. And voila, I reached the carrier. We'll get the sub moving up the same path. Right around here. And voila, we have reached the formidable carrier. It's not going to be too formidable in a moment. Let's go ahead and attack that bitch. 4 damage dealt with our unupgraded sub, which had much better attack odds than our upgraded sub, by the way. Look at this, like, much better. It's actually a little ridiculous. Well, I don't want to lose 3 or 2 for no reason, so let's try the other sub. Yeah, much better. Oh, but only 2 damage dealt? No! So, why is it always saying 2? Why are we just, like, guaranteed to lose 2? Also, goddamn, look at all the XP this has. Fine, we'll attack. It's worth killing a fucking carrier and all the planes on it. 840 NM bonus, that's a big bonus. I'm gonna run this one away now. As well as this one, probably. Yeah, let's just kind of follow that path there, try to get away. These two are very strong. I'm not too worried about them. They might want to run as well, but they're also pretty healthy. Maybe I'll just... What's their supply? It's okay. I'll just offset them a little bit to right here so they're both just raiding all these convoy routes. And that they're not exactly where they're expected to be. I could also just have both of them start heading northwest to raid these very important lines. And ideally, they're just not found along the way by all the destroyers now that we're kind of clearing out of here. That might also be smart. Let's try that, yeah. Let's try that. So, hopefully they're not found. We get them doing some raiding. We don't have ports available to get all these upgrades in, so that's not something that we're dealing with right now. That's most of the naval stuff, so let's go look at Ethiopia, which I'm amazed we still hold. Let's take the Abyssinia Corps and attack the 2nd South African Corps. 2 damage dealt. The HQ actually just gained some XP, just got like a level. They can't really damage me in this region because they have no supply. This one has 1 supply, but it'll probably run out soon theoretically, unless Djibouti's supply stretches all the way down here now that they have this. Still, pretty weak, and no upgrades on infantry weapons, so. There's also this Ark Royal carrier that's over here that we could potentially sink and make that the 3rd allied carrier to sink over the summer in-game, which would be crazy. It'd be like, what, half their carriers roughly? Maybe almost half? Maybe half? I don't know. At least the Brits, you know, excluding the Americans. There's a chance that we could move this battleship down this coast to this port where it would theoretically be safe because it's in a port, where it could then attack outwards at this enemy royal carrier. I think I'll give that a shot. Here, let's go ahead and risk that. Oh my, it's working. Oh my, it worked. Still, not a whole lot of damage from a battleship, but we don't have naval weapon upgrades. They do. So that would explain that. I wonder, what is the attack value of this battleship? Naval 5. Carrier 5? Is that separate? It's the same as this upgraded battle cruiser. Let's go ahead and attack. Only 1 damage dealt? Are you fucking kidding me? Only 1 damage dealt, and that's it. And then it like runs away. The biggest thing right now is I don't want to accidentally start a gigantic naval battle in the Mediterranean because the Italian Navy's not upgraded. I don't have the research to make it a good Navy. I don't have the MPPs to focus. Maybe if I had lost all of Africa quickly, I could afford to do that, but I didn't. And now I want to maintain Libya and Ethiopia because it's a big distraction to the Brits. Okay, so let's try sending the battle cruiser. Having that attack. 2 damage dealt. It runs away further. We can still see it. We can't run this any further away. We can run this one further away. We'll go ahead and run that over to Athens. On the battle cruiser over here. These British tanks insist on operating out here by this oasis settlement where they have some supply. They can't get very far or do very much from that position though. Our supply doesn't go out there very well either. We need to push here. That's going to take some aggressive playing, if I do say so myself. So, let's try some. Let's take the Ariete tanks and move them all the way out here. And we have some pretty good odds, actually. Supply still reaches out to 4 up here. We have better odds than with a prepared attack from my army. Why is that? What? I don't get it. Let's attack. Only 1 damage dealt, but no damage taken, which is pretty good. So, let's attack with the army. 2 damage dealt. No damage taken. Okay, we can get this army up to the front line here. We have to move this one off the front line. Let's do that. And then move this army forward and attack. 2 damage dealt. None taken. Okay, I'm just going pretty well. We're going to just reinforce the 10th army. We're going to upgrade this corps with infantry weapons level 1. And then there's this corps, which can't accomplish a whole lot. I think I'll just pull this corps back a little bit into a more defensive fixture now that the armies and the tanks are all up at the front, just to make sure this tank doesn't do some suicide run on our HQs and deal a fuck ton of damage. I'm just going to reinforce the medium bombers for now. Their readiness and morale was pretty hit, and so I just want them to have a chance to recover before I start sending them in and doing stuff with them. We're going to reinforce the Lampo destroyer. We're going to reinforce these Romanian fighters that are protecting everything over here pretty much single-handedly. I will operate this Turkish HQ to right over here. I believe this is a hub that can provide pretty decent supply just out and around here. Yeah, we'll have some decent supply spread going directly into Iraq momentarily because of this. Probably a lot better of a point than Van. This second army can actually force march itself all the way into Iraq right now. Its readiness and morale will be injured, and that morale is really high, so it would be a shame to get it so injured. But Iraq's situation is precarious. The sooner we get someone in there, the better. Especially against this. Especially if it's an army. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That leaves them, yeah, oh, they lost so much readiness and morale. But they'll be in decent supply, especially once this supply catches up. So, I have hopes for it. Now we need to get the other Turkish units into the region, because the Turks are the ones that are going down here. I still don't fully understand how this will all work, but we're going to make it work. So, operate the first army here. Hopefully have them catch up soon. Operate. We could operate. No, that's transport. No, we can't operate. This one's not on a place it can operate from. This one also could have force marched over here, but it's a core. It's not as important. This one definitely needs to operate into the region. Let's put you right over here. This one could just kind of move down and then go a little more at a better pace, or it could just force march it down here. I'm going to force march it. We want to rush. There was some bad logistical planning due to me not knowing how these events would go, but we're going to try to make up for it. And then planes, so some air support, which probably won't be needed, but I'll still put the planes over here for the support. regardless. I'll take the Adana garrison here. I'm going to move that up to Ankara just so we have something sitting on Ankara. I'll leave this garrison at Izmir for a moment. The Edirne garrison I'm going to operate to right up here. It'll either take the place of this HQ, or it'll move up to guard here, this oil area. Haven't decided yet. The Turkish 5th Corps needs to get into position as well. Best I can do is operate it right over here. We got the whole gang. I don't know if this HQ is enough for this, given that it's a minor HQ. But it's here. Turkey can get another HQ and some tanks and more units. Might end up doing that. I don't know. It's not too relevant to me right now. This fighting will not be so intense that this amount of Turkish units and this HQ will not be able to handle it. It's particularly a push into Egypt where that would be needed, but that's not a problem for right now. For now, though, I filled up this episode nice and fine, so we're going to resume this in the next episode. So for now, hope you guys are enjoying. Hope you guys think we're winning. For now, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.